Hello everyone, welcome to Fijian Investment Trader, known as Fijian Traders. This is Mr. Singh. NIO, ticker symbol NIO, NIO. What a roller coaster week we had. Highs of $6.34, low of all the way to $5.54 on those two key resistance right up here and the support level here. But before we talk on the technical side, I gotta have a lot of news on NEO to cover: the good, the bad, what are we looking at it, how Mr. Lee William is making some changes, and about my portfolio as well. So I'm very excited, and we have a lot to go. This is gonna be my largest video to come. So buckle up, get some popcorn, get energy drink, whatever you need. We have a lot to cover, and I'm excited. And why I am still bullish? Why? Because the technical analysis don't lie, but news coming up like this will push the price even higher, even though we had a Thursday and Friday and we had those pullbacks. What was the reason behind that? Was also the CPI and PPI numbers came out, unemployment numbers came out, was not favorable, and how Feds in America are cutting down, planning on the high inflation rate, and how the interest rate is going to be cutting down, where the investors are a bit unsure how the economy is shifting. So, a lot to cover on that side. But before on that, on NIO. What NIO is doing? Well, China asks EV makers to use domestic chips, aid text to tussle with US report. We know how the EV war is going on. Every EV companies are cutting price to get to sell it cheaper. As a customer, well done. We can buy cars at a cheaper price, but they are driving those price down. Even starting with Tesla, when they started making those moves, and we have seen the reports of other EV companies are cutting price. So what China is asking is for the EV makers to use their domestic chip in aid to tussle with the US report. Also, NIO files the 2022 annual report earnings with SEC. That was through the Singapore trading market. So I also wanted to share quickly on that. It was in the company announcement. Well, the big news, right? One of the biggest news that we have is NIO has officially launched Onvo brand in May, explaining the meaning of it. The NIO confirmed overname is says to be the brand's official launch and is expected to be early in mid-May. Looks really good. I like it. I like the new the brand coming up on that. So another growth, right? You talk about growth and how NIO is doing about growth, and Mr. Lee William is every week, every day finding how NIO could be more profitable first, and how to reduce cost as well. Another news for NIO came out today on Friday. Actually, was NIO signs a deal with called CALT to join develop long-term battery, long life batteries. What does it mean? CALT is also will also plan and develop a battery system for a longer service lives for NIO and upcoming models. This is phenomenal. This is one of the things is how battery is so important on EV cars, and we know how NIO has a battery swap stations over close to 2,900, and the lifetime of the battery means the customers gets I use those cars even longer those times. Even I know they can swap the batteries as well, but it reduces the cost, right? And that let's talk about it more about this article. So NIO entered into the new collaboration agreement with the power battery supplier called to create a longer life electric batteries. The two companies have signed the framework agreement today in Belgium, carrying out the lifelong battery R&D based in NIO swap needs, according to the EV maker. Carl also has core technologies such as slow capacity, self-repairing, solid aggregate interface film, and supplement to extend the life of the vehicle, the NIO said. So what does it mean by that? We're going to talk a little bit more depth on that side on the next article. So it is the only battery maker in the global market share, more than 30%, and is the sole supplier for the batteries currently circulating into NIO's battery swap network. NIO has filed a battery pack using a smaller supplier, CLB, for a number of models of last year, although they were not in the service, they are not yet in service. The EV maker has also teamed up with the local Belgium energy technology to make a semi-solid battery packs within 150 kilowatts capacity and expected to enter service in the second quarter. In January 2023, NIO has signed a 5-year comprehensive strategic agreement with Carl in mentioned to a business model based on the long time a long life battery, right? So this is some good news is happening with NIO, because the longer the battery is durable on that means a lower cost, right? And this is also the part of Mr. Lee William is, I know it's the report is not saying, but on the company business side, if your product is used longer means there's a less cost is involved on that. Also, the next one is how they're reducing the cost. Even though it is not respond to that, NIO has dramatically restructured the battery swap rental options in cars and be more attractive to the face of the price competition. And this is not response to the war going on. And what Mr. Lee William is doing is phenomenal, right? And doing this, for example, this NIO Dynamic has restructured the battery rental thing options, is facing a stiff competition, and cutting those prices at a lower price means generating more revenue. At the same time, you're bringing more customers in, and you gotta be making moves in order to reduce your operating expense as well. Granted, you will be not making a lot of profit by doing that because you're just taking the revenue away, but every EV makers are having these big cuts and selling the cars at a cheaper price, and it's going to weed out those small companies will weed out in terms of it's not going to be substantial to have it. So it's going to be interesting to see how NIO and Mr. Lee William is how it plays out, because we don't actually have an actual data of saying it, okay, what's going to be the long run by doing this kind of moves. But growth, which is Mr. Lee William is doing it, and NIO is also as NIO as general is making headways. And this beautiful car that right up here, the official launch of Onvo brand, I think is also entice new customers coming in, right? So really exciting to see that. Very excited to see that. Let's talk on the technical side. What I was saying it that why I'm still bullish on NIO is right here when we had this crossover and we made this all the way to $6.34, right? And what we had with the CPI and the news came out, we pull back again right here. So even though we pull back, right, MACD still looks good. RSI is still heavy pointing towards up. What we're gonna see coming up is gonna trade in between that and gonna close that gap. Even though we have this crossover, right? We have this crossover, the pink one, crossover the blue one, right over here, and it shows maybe a potential downtrend, but I think it is a short-lived. This is a very short-lived gonna be right here, and it's gonna be start trading in between that. With news coming up like this, it gives a potential for a movement towards coming in. This is all the impact of what happened in China's CPI. Also numbers came in and US. And this is not the only EV, and NIO is the only one who suffered with that. Everybody else has suffered on the pullback of this past from Thursday and Friday. And even Tesla came all the way to 162 as well. So all EV sectors have taken a big hit. At all retail, pretty much the stock market have taken a big hit on the past 2 days of the CPI numbers, PPI numbers, and how also in China's numbers came about the real estate as well. And we're going to shift the gear to the 3 months, whereas on the 3 months it's still sitting at $5, the pink line, which is my 200-day EMA, $5.85, and the blue line, which is sitting at roughly about $5.83. And we are about to we did have this crossover, then we pull back over here. But look at our MACD, and that's why I'm very bullish on that, because when the MACD this is the first sign of some sort of an uptrend, but I don't know how long it's going to be uptrend, but it is showing towards that green area coming, the green bars are coming in. So I won't be surprised that we will be coming back over here and trading and having those pullbacks right here. But the $6.30 is becoming a very nuisance to have that. And with this pullback came back over here, if the buyers don't even step up, even though there's a short interest is pretty high, as I saw it, there's a short interest came on that, but if it doesn't hold up, you will be seeing it coming back down over here. But the news like this fundamentally usually pushes the price a little bit higher and makes higher highs. And so it is very tricky, and then make that call to see that, oh, it is an uptrend. Even though I'm still holding my NIO shares, and I have reduced it, lost some profit when had that, but it doesn't mean I'm over with NIO. Absolutely not on that. I'm still a long believer on NIO, but I always want to make sure that time and time when it's okay to sell shares, locks the profit, and start a new portfolio. So I'm about to start a new one coming up, and I haven't bought it because the dip that happened today, we had this bounce back. My average to go buy the stock, not an average, to start my area, it's going to be back around at $5.21. That's an area that I am looking at, and it's sitting right over here. So this is an area that I'm looking at about between $5.33 and $5.21, where I'm going to start getting my options calls as well, and also let's start loading some shares. So, and we still have this downtrend pattern coming in. And it's about to go on oversold territory. So nothing is very positive. Even though I was very optimistic. I will tell you right now. Then my previous video, I did said we has this breakout coming, but we got to be very careful on Thursday's PPI numbers. And unfortunately, as expected, the PPI numbers didn't happen corrected. We pulled back right back over here, with knowing how the economy of US and China, the numbers came out, was not favorable for the investors, and the investors do not want to hear that. So this is what is going on with all that. It's not only NIO, and I'm going to quickly show you how Tesla is doing too as well, because I'm invested on Tesla as well coming up. And Tesla had the same thing too. Even though Tesla is an alpha, you can clearly see that my Tesla buying area is sitting at $151.26 in the area. But it is also you can clearly see that they were about to have this breakout, got rejected with those numbers, and it's a reversal bull flag pattern, and I'll be seeing it around at 151 for Tesla as well. So these are the key times for growing, for investors I know some of you guys are holding this for a higher price. This is sometimes that way you load shares to average down. Not saying you go and do it right now. Not a financial advisor, just sharing my thoughts and my fundamentals and technical. But this is the area that where I'm going to be coming in is around at $5.33 and $5.22 to see where we're going to hold it up, because what we're seeing it right now on the fundamental side of NIO is looking great. But with the war going on with the EV market, anything can be a flip and join. And if NIO, with the backup of China government and Abu Dhabi investment, NIO is not going to be bankrupt, not going anywhere. 100%. They're not going anywhere, right? Even though I said 100%, but this is have a lot of banking with those big companies. So something that I feel comfortable as an investor on that. So first of all, have your plan. I know some of you guys may be watching it and asking me, Mr. Singh, you did say there was an uptrend. I did, based on the technical, but the PP, and I did mention that if the Tesla numbers doesn't come, we are coming right back down, which we did. So keep an eye. The key levels on the downtrend was the 560, 533, and $5.01 is going to be the next one. And to break the resistance is none other than it's going to be my $6.34. It will be a complete reversal. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate for you guys subscribing and smashing that like button and turning on the notification. It means a lot. I see a lot of you guys subscribing it, a lot of you guys commenting down below. I'm here for a long run too, and I have traded NIO for many times, and every time I loaded it, every time I did that, I did took some losses too in past, but now I know what's the strategy with NIO. If it doesn't break out, you gotta take the profits, start back again. Take the profits, start back again. Doesn't mean I'm not done yet. I'm not saying that I am just a swing trader. Absolutely, this is not my intention. But when the news comes in like this, you gotta be a smart investor and sell and lock profits and buy it at a cheaper price. And we have been trading in between this cycle of $6.34 and all the way to $5.01. Those are the kind of trading in between right here. So which is good. I still it's a very optimistic to see this kind of trading sideways, making highs, getting rejected, and making higher highs and higher lows, and even lower highs and lower lows at the same time too. So very interesting to see how NIO is doing. But the fundamental of this company looks really great, and I like what I see with NIO because it has a lot of potential for doing it. This is not I'm hyping it. It is just based on the fundamentals of this company, and it's a truly one of the recognized company coming up in Euro companies and even in China, as well as never know, one day you might see in US popping up too. But I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, And thank you for once again subscribing and turning on the notification. Next video is coming up. It's going to be on Monday. Yes, folks, I'm going to be putting a video on Monday. I'm going to talk about NIO and how we're doing on NIO on Monday after the market closes, and what are we looking at it on Wednesday. I'm going to do another video on Wednesday, and as usual, it comes back on Saturday morning when you are watching this video, or you're watching whenever you're watching it. So thank you once again for subscribing it, and have a wonderful, great weekend, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.